everyone, it's Shannon with Play with the World, and I have an awesome message for you today because it's going to help you really relieve and work through any anxiety that you have. In fact, anxiety is something we all feel. We all go into moments where we really experience it, and some of us heavier than others. In fact, I know when I was suffering from clinical depression, my anxiety was extremely high, and I was just in a constant internal rage, and I had this knot in my stomach all the time. And it wasn't until I started to take specific steps. The steps I'm going to share with you today really helped, and I also share them in my book, of course, Find Your Happy. And what it really comes back to is taking a proactive approach to moving forward in your life. And so if you're feeling anxious or if you have stress in your life, I want to first consider that you ask yourself when you feel the most anxious. Does the anxiety come apart and be part of your life in the morning? Maybe you have a really hard time waking up in the morning and you dread the day. Or I know for me, going into my corporate job when I was in advertising, I was crying on the way into work. It was just really a torturous experience for me. Or do you feel very anxious and depressed in the evening? Maybe you have insomnia, or maybe you just can't get anything done because you're so overwhelmed with anxiety. Well, today's tips, I'm going to share 3 tips with you today, and these tips are going to help you really transform your experience from the inside out. And so I want you to first think when you have your anxiety, and then as we go through the message, think about how that pertains to your physical environment. Yes, our physical environment has a lot to do with our experience in life. In fact, A Course in Miracles says your outside world is a reflection of your internal state. And when you think about this, you can look at your home, in your immediate home, and where you're sitting right now, even when you're watching this, and see what comes up for you. Is it very cluttered? Is there a lot of stuff that you just don't have use for anymore that's just piling up? Or do you feel comfortable in your home? So today's message is a radical way to transform anxiety, and it starts with your own physical environment. So today we're going to turn that house into a home. And so the very first step is to strip down. Strip down is all about getting rid of clutter and detoxing your internal environment of where you live. And this also really turns into your own experience with your body and how you feel in your body. Because if you look around your house and you have a lot of stuff and a lot of things that you don't really use, then this can really create this enormous tension inside of you. And so I want you to consider a challenge and an awesome opportunity for you this week is to actually go maybe even to your closet, because that's a great place, because that's where we start our day, that's where we end our day, and just strip out things that you don't wear anymore. Donate them to Goodwill, give them to friends or family, really even have a garage sale. This process, you don't have to be in the springtime to have spring cleaning. As we enter into the next season, it's really important that you recognize that you actually have stuff in your home that might be dragging you down. And when you look around, it's an energetic reminder. And so what happens when you clear out stuff, you're creating this internal environment where you can actually create more joy, because you're telling the universe that I no longer want this. And then in you doing that, you're able to release what no longer works and you invite in what does work. And so that's really step 1. I want you to consider what you can get rid of and remove and donate and just get out of your home. And that will help you feel more free, and watch how your anxiety really disappears. Now, this next section and the next spot that I really want you to think about, and the next tool, is to create a me spot within your home. A lot of times we have anxieties because of our home. We don't feel like there's a place we can go to have a sanctuary. Now, this can be lots of different places. It could be a bathtub. Maybe you love taking baths. We'll create this and carve out this little space for you. Or perhaps you love a space in your den or your living room or even on your deck. My mom has a deck and she drinks her coffee in the morning and watches the hummingbirds as she looks out over nature. And I know for me, I have lots of spots in my home now because I've really created this environment. And this will help too. So what me space can you create? And this is where you go, you feel uplifted. It could be your bed because you love your bed, but make sure you take care of this space. So wherever you are, you're actually putting a lot of care and attention into this environment. And the more you care for your environment, the more in turn you'll be caring for yourself, and watch how anxiety disappears. It's a very miraculous event that will happen for you. And the third step, which is a super fun one, is to invite love in. Yes, you want to invite love in. Now, what does this mean? This is actually a twofold situation and a tool for you. First of all, you want to invite love in any situation in your home that is causing turmoil or anxiety. Perhaps you're living with someone, your significant other or your family, and there's a lot of tension right now. There's a lot of things perhaps not being said, or there's a lot of fear and anxiety. Well, what you can do is literally say, I invite love in to this situation. I only choose love. I remove my fear. And you focus on the love and the good aspects of that relationship and the good aspects of your environment. Because when you live in a toxic environment, or when you live in an environment that feels uneasy, that's part of and one of the main reasons we have so much anxiety elsewhere in our life. It starts in the home. And so invite love in.